Welcome to Prime DCTV, your source for news and information about the latest custom data center solutions for leading enterprise and hyperscalers, delivered by Prime Data Centers. I'm Dean Perrine, longtime industry analyst, brand strategist, EVP at JSA, and your Prime DCTV host, coming to you live today, June 1st, 2022. And joining me today is Mr. Chris Sumter. Chris is a partner and executive vice president of acquisitions at Prime Data Centers. Prime Data Centers is a built-to-suit wholesale data center developer and operator, delivering custom data center infrastructure solutions. Chris, welcome to, I think this is the inaugural DCTV recording. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Dean. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you, Chris. So, Chris, why don't you tell the audience what sets Prime apart?
Look, I think with Prime in general, our product offerings, we obviously develop data centers like everybody else in our space, but I think what sets us apart is we're really going the extra mile on locating the right locations in the right markets and delivering what we would consider to be, the most appropriate product, within those specific markets. I think, as we look at the market and the way that it continues to evolve, not one size fits all for most of the product sets. And we're trying to deliver, either single tenant assets in markets where that's really what the tenants are looking for, or the customers are looking for, campuses in the larger markets where there's a lot of flexibility, where, companies can come in and ask us for a build-to-suit or a large turnkey product or even a powered shell. We're really ambivalent as it relates to, a product offering. It's really, what is it that the customer needs? Where do they need it? And when do they need it? And we're trying to really focus in on specifically those types of areas. And, we don't really see a lot of our competitors doing that. They've got one size fits all, and we try to be a little bit more flexible than that.
I love it, Chris. But let's talk about some new and exciting news coming out of your newsroom. Your latest announcement is the development of a data center in Vernon, California, near downtown Los Angeles. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that new data center?
Yeah, sure, Dean. Happy to. So, look, the Vernon facility, we're really excited about. We've been looking at the LA market for quite a while, and it's really been a heavily constrained market. Land is very difficult to acquire, at least in a specific size where you can actually develop a data center. What we've seen over the years is primarily people that have gone in, taken over office buildings, or developed floors or suites within an office building to be able to build out and provide data center space to content providers, cloud providers, network companies. And, what we've seen is that the market is hungry for, a purpose-built data center, something that's large, contiguous, that meets today's standards for a data center build. And certainly building a 33 megawatt data center, with 260,000 square feet is vastly different than going into an office building that doesn't necessarily conform to today's standards. They've got low clear heights, things of that nature. We've got a structurally importance factor of 1.5. We've got 20-foot plus clear heights, 250 pounds of load, on the floors. And, obviously from a power density and cooling perspective, certainly meet today's standards for higher density. We're upwards of 225 to 250 watts a foot. And that's just really something that you can't get in the greater, LA metro market. And you certainly can within this facility. So, something that the market needs. And I think they need it now. And we're going to move forward as quickly as possible to delivering a product for this market.
So what about the Vernon site specifically? What makes that unique? It sounds like, everything that you've already said to me is relatively unique, and certainly, as you said, kind of needed in this region. But what makes that specific site unique?
So, I think with Vernon, first and foremost, the city has been fabulous to work with. And anytime you're going to go and you're going to develop a building, you want to have a good partner in your municipality. And, the city's been great. Our ability to deliver power to the building is, something that we can do on the site. So we've got a short construction timeline. And in today's market, you generally have to go through 12, 24, 36 months worth of power studies. we're able to get a substation built on site at 49.9 MVA, and we're going to be able to deliver that by the end of next year. So, that's really first and foremost, is having that capacity committed to, built, and ready for delivery on site. And that's really difficult to do when you're really looking at more of the metropolitan markets. Also trying to find something from an infill perspective, again, highly constrained market. Vernon, we were able to find a property that fit our needs, that had the right amount of acreage. But I think more than anything else was the proximity to, the main connection hubs within that market. One Wilshire, Coresight, Equinix. Our facility is centrally located in between all three of those sites, and we're less than 10 kilometers to each one of those locations. So from a heavy optics perspective, you really don't have to have that heavy gear inside the facility. So customers that come to this facility will have the ability to get to just about any carrier or any network that they need to within a market within a short period of time. So from that perspective, we like it, we're excited about it, and we're ready to bring it to market.
I love it. So you mentioned timelines in there. What, as far as general timelines to be ready to go, what does that look like for the new facility?
So general timeline right now, we're looking to bring the facility online late next year. And, again, that's really going to be barring getting our power on site at the same time. One of the points that I did miss kind of talking about Vernon, when you're looking at the surrounding metropolitan areas from a power pricing perspective, Vernon also has its own power company, Vernon Power, and we're able to get rates to this facility that are lower than the surrounding areas to the market. So that's just something I wanted to make sure I backed up and pointed out. But we are expecting November, December timeframe of 2023 to have this facility ready for a customer move in.
I love it. So for folks who want to know a little bit more about Prime and about the new facility, where should they go?
They can go to primedatacenters.com.
Awesome. Very good. So thank you, Chris. And also thank you, viewers, for tuning in to our inaugural Prime DCTV Live. You can follow Prime on Twitter and LinkedIn and on YouTube for some more information on Prime Data Centers as well. So, Chris, thanks again for being here today.
Thanks, Dean. Really appreciate the time.
You bet.
Bye-bye.